Dim here as we try and look at the scoreboard to 4-5. With the run of the ball is Della coming up from the back pocket. Well played by Della. Boots it out towards the outer side wing, and the mark is taken there by Brindley. Brindley, centre wing for South Fremantle. Not much to kick to. Tries to put the ball into the path of Sumich. That's a very good kick. Sumich takes it. He's forced to kick with his wrong foot though. The right. He pulls it back looking for Jacko. That was a lovely pass. And Jacko comes out and takes the mark on his chest. It was a good lead too. He came up the ground, and Sumich with good vision was able to pull it back.
Very talented player, Peter Sumich. Hasn't played well today, but he's only a youngster, but he has got great skills both sides of the body. That was a magnificent kick to a fast-leading Mark Jackson.
Fast-leading Mark Jackson, kicking at his fifth, or rather his second, and South's fifth. Didn't get the distance. Can't believe it. He stands like a statue out there, Jacko, just ruining his misfortune. Meantime, the ball is coming down the grandstand wing. This is Turley. He's had about 3 bounces now. Gets it to King. King wants a little bit of time. He's got it too as he chips the ball into Gastiv. Turley is cruising past. Turley initiated this down the ground and no one's running with him. But Gastiv ignores that. He thinks Turley should be plumb tuck it out. So he goes across towards Fong. Fong plays on long down towards full forward and they shepherd it through. Good work by Madafri. Goal to Les Fong. 36-16 to 4-5.
I love him, Dennis.
Yep.
He's been one of the all-time great players of this game, and when I was critical of Mark Jackson earlier, you know, you look at this fella here. This is what football's all about. These are the sort of men that are going to make our game grow, and it's under a crisis time with the Eagles coming in this level. The Les Fongs, I hope they never die out of the game, and that's why I still believe he's got a very important role to play. Fongy has been and still is a champion player, and it's great to see him kick one of the final games in this magnificent victory by West Perth. 203
points is the margin. Now, I can't recall ever seeing a game with a margin like that. I'm blowed if I can. So this could well be a record-winning margin. That's not to say it is, but it's got to be right up there among some of the great wallopings of all time.
I mean, 4 goals in 4 quarters of 25-minute football. You couldn't believe it, could you?
No.
I mean, you would not believe that, but it has happened, so...
You've got to believe it.
History, mate. History.
Yeah, well, if you get walloped, you might as well have it finish up in a record book somewhere. It won't be one they care to open too often down at Fremantle Oval. This is
It's
Nifka.
not a good one to quote if you're a coach.
No. Bradmore gets it across to Gastiv. Gastiv goes down towards the pocket. What's he trying to do with this? Get it to Nelson, I fancy. Nelson can't hang on. Going in solidly as Karouche. Grabs it right on the boundary line and gets it out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in. It's Craig Nelson. That's Perth's highest score ever in 1981. That was, I think, Brian Peake's swan song in that particular season. I think he went from that game.
I think he did, Dennis.
To Geelong, and I think it was Bradmore's introduction to WAFL football. Bradmore may have kicked 6 or 7 goals, maybe 8 goals that day in his first game of Western Australian football.
Oh, what a great kick.
Chaplin puts through a goal meantime. Almost of secondary importance this afternoon. That was a magnificent kick from there.
Gee, we've seen some great goals, haven't we? And their mobile division have been absolutely dominant all over the ground, and this little fella running up forward hasn't had a great year, hasn't been in the side, but today he has really had a birthday, and him and Madafri have scored. I think Chaplin's kicked 4, Madafri 10. It's 14 goals out of the forward pocket. Every coach dreams about those sort of statistics. I think Sean King, Dennis, 29 kicks, Buick 28 kicks. They're unbelievable stats.
Yep. This is Gastiv, all the time in the world to Bradmore.
Look at this, here he goes.
Buick over the top to Chaplin, and Chaplin about 15 metres out, hits the post halfway up. Well, I haven't heard such animation in this grandstand for a long time. This crowd is seeing something out of the ordinary. It's not your normal run-of-the-mill football, but small crowd, the official attendance, 2,104, enjoying themselves. Well, most of them are. The South supporters probably have since headed back for the port. This is Rognetta, although in its macabre way, it is history-making as the ball comes in towards centre field. Oh, good mark is taken there by Sumich, and he breaks away. There's the siren. It's all over. It's been all over since, what, about the 10-minute mark of the game. 37-17 to 4-5. That's right. Write that down. 37-17 to 4-5. West Perth win by 210 points. There's a man who knocked up getting kicks this afternoon, Sean King. Another in the background there, Darren Buick, but so many fine players out on the ground this afternoon for West Perth. There's a man who came on at three-quarter time, Les Fong, and Mark Jackson heads off. Nothing much to celebrate in those South Fremantle rooms. Paddy Madaffrey kicked 10 goals. There's a man who kicked 2. It's all West Perth here at Leederville Oval. Thanks for your company. We'll be back with more football after this.